Last night, Armstrong went down on 3 pitches swinging. Here he takes a third strike, and just like that, 1 up, 1 down. And the former Met, Michael Conforto, coming up after McLean registered the first Met strikeout today, brought to you by Weichert Realtors. Don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one at Weichert.com. Well, here is Michael Conforto, terrific kid who signed a 1-year deal with the Cubs, takes a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Michael batting .222 with 4 homers and 13 RBIs. But remember, back in April when these teams met in Chicago, Conforto hit a game-tying 9th-inning double. The 1-0, swing and a miss at a good, looked like a sinking fastball. They put 4-seamer up there, but that had a lot of sink to it. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Conforto with left-hand hitting Michael Busch on deck. And so Nolan McLean is facing 3 straight left-hand hitters right out of the box here. For a Cubs team that draws a lot of walks, more than any in baseball, the 1-1. That spins over the inside corner, a sweeper for a called strike, 1-2. They have not been an especially prolific offensive team this year. They are 6th in the league in runs per game, but they put up 9 last night. And the 1-2 to Conforto lifted Farrell into the seats, third base side, into the second deck. And as you would imagine, because this was not on the original schedule as an afternoon game, there are a lot of available seats here. So if you're in the area, you got some time, come on in. Plenty of room for you. 1-2 pitch. Conforto bounces it foul over by the Mets dugout on the first base side.
The Norwegian fans for the World Cup are here in right center field. There's a sea of red out there today.
Yes.
So they grabbed the group seats.
And they're hooting and hollering out there right now. It's not the 7 line. It's the Norwegians. The 1-2 swung on and fouled into the mid of Torrens, strike 3. So McLean has punched out the first 2. 2 up, 2 down. Michael Busch coming up, and we'll look at the Mets' defensive alignment, brought to you by Orland and Cohen Orthopedic Group. Ranked number 1 in New York by Kessel Connolly. They've got specialists for that. Young is at first, Semien at second, Bichette at short, and Beatty at third. Here's Busch. First pitch, breaking ball, sweeps high. 1 ball and no strikes. A lot to like about Busch lately, as he has been on base in 26 consecutive games. The 1-0 on the way, another sweeper, and that misses high and away, 2-0. He's only batting .244 with 8 homers and 42 runs batted in. Might note that Alex Bregman not starting game 1 or this afternoon's game. Here's the 2-0, way outside with a fastball, 3 balls and no strikes. So McLean has given up only 4 earned runs over his last 4 starts combined. And do the Mets need that kind of a start from McLean today, because their starters largely have not been competitive lately. The 3-0 is in for a called strike, a fastball, 3-1. Kind of hard to imagine, isn't it, that over the last 7 games, Mets starting pitchers have pitched to an earned run average of 10.93. 3-1 to Busch. Outside, ball 4. And again, the team that draws more walks than any in the majors draws their first one here, as Busch is aboard with a 2-out base on balls, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Seiya Suzuki. And here's a guy who faced McLean last year when McLean pitched against the Cubs in Chicago. McLean wound up winning that game, gave up 5 runs over 5 1/3 innings. However, he allowed 3 home runs in that game, and 2 of them were hit by Seiya Suzuki, the right-hand hitter who's in there now. The Cubs cleanup hitter, first pitch, fastball in for a called strike. And it's 0-1. You hear that commotion? That's our Norwegian friends sitting out there in right center field.
I love it. Up and at 'em.
Look like they're wearing Montreal Canadian jerseys. The 0-1 breaking ball on the outside corner, a called strike, 0-2.
I was reading that the other day they were doing the Viking row in Times Square. It sounds made up, but nope, it was them.
They are the early stars of this year's World Cup. 0-2. Now the pitch. Breaking ball way outside, rescued by Torrens. Holding at first is Busch, in the count 1-2.
I say this with love because we were in London and we were sitting in the stands, and a lot of the people had no idea what was going on. I wonder how many of them actually know what's going on. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Not a lot of baseball in Norway.
Well, 1-2 the count to Suzuki. Short lead for Bush at first. The pitch. Fastball in there. Strike 3 called, and that retires the side towards the top of the zone. Initially, it looked like Suzuki might challenge. He will not, and that retires the side. 3 strikeouts for McLean around the walk. And so in the middle of the first inning, Cubs nothing, Mets coming up on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Let's go Mets!
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker, too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the Speed Test Intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritants.
Last of the first, no score. Carson Benj leads off for the Mets. Cubs righty Javier Assad throws the first pitch at the knees. A fastball for a called strike. And it's 0-1 to Benj, who's hit in 5 straight, batting .257. 9 homers, 30 runs batted in. And the 0-1 rides high, a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Assad making his 6th start, his 12th appearance. Spent some time in the minor leagues this year. But lately, he's been very good. The 1-1, swinging a liner over first. That's a fair ball, base hit, going into the right field corner. Waiting on the carom is Conforto. Benj on his way to second, and he pulls in, standing with a leadoff double. Carson Benj keeps it going. He's now hit in 6 consecutive games, and that will bring up A.J. Ewing as the Mets instantly produce their first hit of the game, brought to you by Hudson Honda, where bad credit's no problem. Get approved fast and hit the road. Visit HudsonHonda.com today.
Good to see for Benj, who, again, saw these Cubs back in April when he was going through it as the leadoff hitter a little bit, and he sees them again a couple months later, and it almost feels like he's a different hitter.
Well, here is A.J. Ewing now, left-hand batter. A.J. 0 for 3 last night. First pitch taken for a called strike, a fastball on the outer half, and the count 0-1. And who knows where this Mets season is going and where it's going to wind up. But maybe the best part of it now and perhaps later, here's the 0-1. Ewing fouls a fastball straight back. It's 0-2. Getting a chance to watch Benj and Ewing play every day and continue their development as good as it's been. I mean, A.J. Ewing's way ahead of schedule. Mets pretty much made up their mind about Benj even before spring training, that he was going to make this team. Neither have disappointed. The 0-2 breaking ball hit in the air, deep right center. Over goes Conforto, onto the track, reaches up, makes the catch, crashes into the padded wall, tagging at second. Going to third is Benj. Nice play by Michael Conforto on a long fly ball out off the bat of A.J. Ewing, but a productive out as it gets Benj to third.
I thought maybe that had a chance to sneak over the wall, but Conforto tracked it back nicely. And if there's anyone that knows about the outfield wall in this ballpark as a visitor, it is a former Met, Michael Conforto, who made that catch right before crashing into the pad.
And here's something we see more and more these days. The opposition moving the infield in the first inning. Tip of the cap to Nolan McLean, I guess. Bo Bichette, the batter. And the first pitch in for a called strike. A fastball, 0-1. Used to be almost regardless of who was on the mound. that in the first inning, a team would not play their infield in this situation. It is so early. But Cubs trying to head Benj off at the pass. The 0-1 slashed foul off the facing of the first base dugout. And the count 0-2.
I hate that line.
I know, somewhere, and actually right behind me and just to my right. For two examples, you can hear someone channeling the words of the late Harvey Korman in the classic cinematic piece of genius known as Blazing Saddles.
Cut him off at the pass.
I hate that. 0-2 to Bichette. Assad deals, and a fastball just missed low. 1-2 as we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by our good friends at Bigelow Tea. Thank you for this morning, Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. 1-2 to Bichette. Assad deals. Breaking ball fouled straight back over the screen.
Well, bat went flying to the backstop there for Bichette. Little yard sale. We saw him last night swing so hard that he spun himself into a corkscrew and fell on his back. A guy that we have seen for now 3 months not get shortchanged on a single swing.
He's been a hot hitter. As he said, close to 400 over his last 17 games, including 2 for 4 last night. 2-run home run. But there was a time, Keith, when you would never see a team move its infield in with a runner at third, 1 out in the first inning of a game. Maybe if Bob Gibson or Sandy Koufax or Tom Seaver were the opposing pitcher, and the team facing them were light hitters to begin with, but this has become kind of de rigueur. 1-2 to Bichette. Assad deals. Swing and a foul going into the seats behind the first base dugout downstairs. Umpires lineup, interestingly, sponsored by RWJ Barnabas Health, official partner of Odyssey Mets Radio. Visit rwjbh.org. I say interestingly because the MLB sheet, which is handed out before the game with the umpire rotation, had it wrong last night. The 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Bichette down on a high fastball. First strikeout for Assad, 2 men away. But anyway, we were told last night that Austin Jones was the home plate up. And we were talking about how Jones was challenged 6 times last night, and his calls were overturned on 4 of them. Well, guess what? It wasn't Austin Jones. It was Junior Valentine.
Thought he got away with one there.
Well, so it's Austin Jones behind the plate today. Jared Young takes low for ball 1, and now with 2 out, the infield is dropped back. So it's Jones on the plate, John Bacon at first, crew chief Jordan Baker at second, and Junior Valentine, the umpire, at third. Young batting .231, and the 1-0 swung on and missed a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Young went 0 for 3 last night, so he is now 2 for his last 26 at the plate. Benj led off with a double, went to third on Ewing's fly ball out. Still at third with 2 men away. The infield way over towards the right. And now time called. And of course, you can't overshift anymore. But the shortstop, Dansby Swanson, is maybe a quarter of a stride to the left of second base. 1-1, now the pitch. Swing and a pop foul, straight back out of play, and it's 1-2. First baseman, Michael Bush, is deep and over towards the line, not on the line. And about halfway between first and second is Nico Horner, Gold Glove winner at second base. 1-2 to Young. Assad deals. Check swing, did he go? They look to third. He went around, strike 3, a cutter down and in, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left, 2 strikeouts for Assad. At the end of 1, the Cubs nothing, the Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Let's go, Mets!
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today. based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kpp.com for more information.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using PolyMarket. PolyMarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. PolyMarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the PolyMarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume really matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
In baseball, matchups matter. And with Red Pocket Mobile, you get to make the call. Red Pocket Mobile gives you a choice of access on 3 major 5G.
Head them off at the pass. I hate that cliche.
Ian Happ leads off top of the second for the Cubs. Takes a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike one in this scoreless game. Scoreless because, well, the Cubs, in essence, did head Carson Benj off at the pass. The 0-1 swung on and missed by Happ. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Benj was at third with 1 out. The Cubs played the infield in, but Javier Assad struck out Bichette and Young. And once again, the Norwegians making a commotion as McLean deals low with a curve 1-2.
It's great. I mean, like I said in the first inning when McLean was a strike away from getting out of it, they chanted and chanted. McLean threw strike 3, and they didn't know what to do.
1-2 pitch driven in the air towards the Norwegians. Deep to right center, into the gap, and a one hops the base of the wall. Around first, heading for second is Happ. Ian Happ pulls in with a double, and the Norwegians just sitting there. They don't know how to react.
Well, they watch a lot of soccer. They're not used to seeing the ball in play, I guess. Sorry.
Well,
sensitive time, I guess.
No,
World Cup's
really.
going on.
That's
be nice,
okay.
be nice.
That's whatever. The Norwegians are having fun. They're just not sure why they're having fun.
But they're in between innings when we were in commercial doing the row, and you can hear them barking. I mean, they're into it right now.
Well, here are the Cubs into it as well, with a runner at second and nobody out, just as the Mets had in the bottom of the first inning. The kids did their job when Benj led off with a double and Ewing got him over with a long fly ball out. But then Assad struck out the next 2, and now it's McLean who's got to muscle up. And he did strike out 3 in the first inning. So here's Horner batting .235. He's better than that. Right-hand batter, and the first pitch to him. Swinging a roller just foul outside the first base bag. And the count 0-1. Horner with 4 homers, 35 runs batted in. 29-year-old out of Stanford who's won a couple of Gold Gloves and signed a 6-year contract extension, which doesn't even go into effect until next year. Beatty is even with a bag at third, couple strides off the line, if that. And the 0-1. Inside to Horner, a fastball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's the number 6 hitter. Pedro Ramirez is on deck. And then Miguel Amaya. A couple of guys, the only 2 of 3, including Conforto, not in last night's starting lineup. 1-1. McLean deals high with a fastball, ball 2. Now, McLean was fairly dominant in that first inning, striking out 3, although he did walk Bush with 2 out. But rather puzzlingly, we have seen McLean have dominant innings and then kind of lose it all at once in the following inning. The 2-1 on the way, hit foul, back into the second deck to the right of home plate, and it's 2-2. Well, lately, and particularly his last time out, he has not been befallen by that, but man, do the Mets ever need a strong start from him, or anybody for that matter. 2-2 to Horner, the outfield straight away. Now the pitch, high with a fastball, ball 3.
And Carlos Mendoza used words like excellent, used words like dominated. And usually that kind of confidence comes from, first of all, good performance, but wanting to see that same kind of performance next time out.
3-2 to Horner. Happ leads from second. Now the pitch. Swing and a roller to the right side. It'll get the runner over. Young, the first baseman, up with it. Throws high to first. It's yanked down by McLean, who gets to the bag ahead of Horner for the out. Happ goes to third. And tell me you didn't see, if you're here in the ballpark or even visualize as a listener, the flip last year from Alonso to Senga.
Yeah, that's exactly where that took me. The difference here is that Nolan McLean is a former two-way player and former football player, so he is used to adjusting on the fly with those quick-twitch muscles and came down fine, came down with a smile, and he will continue on.
Well, here are the Mets moving their infield in for Pedro Ramirez. Stocky third baseman out of Venezuela, a rookie. And the first pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Ramirez hitting .270 with a homer and 4 runs batted in. He's listed at 5'9", 200. Kind of a fire hydrant. And again, the Mets with their infield in. The 0-1, swing and a miss at a curve down and in. He was overmatched there in the count 0-2. And here's where the Cubs are just looking for contact. With that infield in, it's certainly an advantage for the hitter to try and squeeze one through. 2 Mets struck out in a similar situation in the first. McLean ahead of Ramirez here, 0-2 in the second. Now the pitch. In there, strike 3 called a fastball. And an uncompetitive at-bat by Pedro Ramirez helps McLean and the Mets out here. Now they'll draw the infield back with 2 away. Happ at third. And the right-hand hitting catcher Miguel Amaya coming up. 4 strikeouts now for Nolan McLean. Amaya batting .225, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. And McLean's first pitch. Swing and a roller back to the mound, bobbled by McLean, looks behind him, picks it up, throws to first in time, and that retires the side. So McLean works around a leadoff double, 1 hit, 1 left, middle of the second. Cubs nothing, Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the Speed Test Intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's B.
Last of the second inning, Cubs nothing, Mets nothing. Francisco Alvarez, the designated hitter. Brett Beatty and Marcus Semien will do the hitting for the Mets against Javier Assad, who allowed a leadoff double to Benj in the first and got out of it unscathed. Alvarez had a good night last night. First pitch to the right-hand batter, way outside with a cutter. 1 ball and no strikes. Albie went 2 for 4 and drove in all 3 Mets runs with a 2-run homer. And actually a solo homer and a 2-run single. The 1-0 taken way outside, another cutter, and it's 2-0. So Alvarez batting .257 with 6 homers, 16 RBIs. And again, you'll note Juan Soto not in the lineup, at least this afternoon. was being evaluated this morning. His availability unknown. 2-0 pitch. Outside, another cutter. And it's 3-0 to Alvarez. Francisco Lindor should be, from what we were told earlier this morning, active and in Game 2's lineup, presumably at shortstop. 3-0 to Alvarez. Takes it down the middle for a called strike. It's 3-1.
Yeah, they're in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, just far enough to finish the game, finish treatment, drive all the way back, told him to get some rest, and I think he probably showed up a little while ago.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a good-looking sinker there from Assad. And now it's 3-2.
They expect him, if he plays tonight, to be off tomorrow. It would be a kind of a slow return all the way back to every day at shortstop for Lindor.
We'll do a little DHing, get days off here or there. Here's the payoff pitch to Alvarez. Swung on and hit high and foul down the right field line, out of play. He has never been a fan of missing a game. His goal has always been to play 162. But I think those days are about over for him. He's going to need days off here and there. Payoff pitch. Alvarez takes inside. He started his hands but held off. Ball 4. And Alvarez draws a leadoff walk. And so the Mets have their first walk of the game. And that's brought to you by Emu Health, the official pediatric dental partner of the New York Mets radio network. Emu Health, move forward. So Alvarez aboard for the second straight inning. The Mets have the leadoff man on. But you've got some struggling hitters coming up behind him trying to break out, starting with Brett Beatty, left-hand hitter. First pitch, taken off the outside corner, a fastball, ball 1. Beatty hitting .220, 1 for his last 15 and 4 for his last 31. 3 homers, 26 RBIs. Outfield straightaway against him. And the 1-0 pitch. That's upstairs, 2 balls and nothing. Hassan generally has very good control, including the first inning. He's walked just 9 batters in 45 innings. Marcus Semien, the on-deck hitter. Both teams have fortified their bullpens in this split doubleheader. 27th men. Mets have used brought Jonathan Pintaro up. They've got Pintaro to work out of the bullpen. Hollowell, Velasquez, Ferguson, all brought up. Ferguson, the 27th man, as the Cubs made some roster moves. 2-0 pitch, and Beatty takes a strike at the knees. It's 2-1. Of course, they had to put Edward Cabrera on the injured list after their starting pitcher injured his hamstring, stretching on a play at first base last night, which hurt almost as much to watch as it must have felt to Cabrera. 2-1 pitch. Downstairs, ball 3. So the plate jumping around on Assad now. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Usually not a problem that he has. Not a big strikeout guy, but walks are really never a big issue with him. So this is certainly uncharacteristic.
3-1. Alvarez barely leading off the first. The pitch is in for a called strike. Pitch down and in, right on the inside corner around the knees. Beatty does not challenge, and it's 3-2. You doubt that Alvarez will run here, but you never know. 3-2. Alvarez barely off the bag, not running, and the pitch is low, ball 4. So uncharacteristically, Assad has walked back-to-back hitters to begin the bottom of the second, and the Mets have a threat going as Marcus Semien will be the batter.
Tommy Hotovy coming out again. We have seen Hotovy, the pitching coach for the Cubs, take some walks. Well, they saw a lot of walks last night in the game, 14 total, and we're up to 3 already today. 2 by this Assad here.
We'll pause to digest for station identification.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Howie Rose, Keith Radd with you at Citi Field. Mets and Cubs are scoreless here in the last of the second, but back-to-back walks to Alvarez and Beatty have constituted a threat for the Mets. 2 on, nobody out. Marcus Semien coming up. Another game to tell you about, sponsored by Nissan. Hurry in and bring home a winning deal at the Nissan Summer Sales event. Now's the time to get behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Marlins have taken a 2-1 lead over the Rangers and Jacob deGrom as they play the bottom of the 5th inning in Miami. So here's Semien, right-hand batter. First pitch way outside and low with a cutter, ball 1. Semien 0 for his last 11, batting .216 with 9 homers and 29 runs batted in. Outfield straight away against the right-hand hitter. Ramirez pretty deep at third. Assad sets at the belt. And I believe he stepped off.
He did. He and Meyer not on the same page. As he came set, he was still shaking his head. Clock out down to 2-1, and he just stepped off.
Well, now he's ready to go. 1-0 to Semien. The pitch. Low and away. Ball 2. Whatever Tommy Hotovy told Assad, he hasn't made the adjustment yet. And again, the Cubs have extra arms in that bullpen today. They don't need a short start. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a chopper foul straight down at home plate off the sinker. And it's 2-1. Both of these teams have starting pitcher issues. The Mets know that they're getting Christian Scott back this weekend for one of the games against the Phillies. The Cubs are already down several starting pitchers, including Cabrera, who got hurt last night. That looks to be a long-term one. 2-1 to Semien, the pitch. In tight, ball 3, missing with a sinker. So Assad is basically engraving an invitation to the Mets to do some damage here in this bottom of the 2nd inning on a bright, sunny day. Alvarez leads from second, Beatty from first, nobody out, no score. The 3-1, swing and a bouncer foul over by the third base dugout. So a full count now. And Tim Leeper back on the coaching lines at third for the Mets. Missed last night's game because of his son's college graduation. So Gilbert Gomez is back on the coaching lines at first. J.P. Arancibia back in the Mets dugout. He coached first last night. Here's a payoff pitch. Swinging a high pop-up along the first base line into foul ground. Bush shading his eyes, struggles, and does not hold the ball. It looked like he had it, and then the ball rolled, I think, off the heel of his glove and onto the grass. So, I don't know, they'll probably call that no play the way he was fighting the sun. But it's a break, a huge break for Marcus Semien.
They're calling the infield fly until it got into foul territory, and then it's up for grabs, and Bush just lost it in the sun. Even Gilbert Gomez looked up after that to see how bad the sun was. That looked like a very catchable ball.
And a big break for the Mets. 3-2 to Semien. Assad sets now the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ground to the third, picked by Ramirez, throws to second one. Horner to first, double play. Maybe it wasn't such a big break after all. Because now there are 2 men away on the 5-4-3, and Alvarez goes to third. Beatty forced at second as Semien grounds into the double play.
Just enough movement on that sinker for Semien, who's, remember, Assad's walking the world in this inning. He's just trying to fight to get back in the strike zone. So he's going to come in, and he threw one down and in. That Semien rolls into 2.
Well, now M.J. Melendez, a struggling hitter, but one who's homered against Assad this year, will be the batter. First pitch, swinging a high fly ball to left field, slicing towards the sidewall. Happ over, near the wall, reaches up, can't get it. It's a foul ball. We lose sight of the left fielder as he moves into the corner along that sidewall. So we take our cue from the third base umpire. Junior Valentine immediately put his hands up to indicate foul ball, and now we get a look at the replay. And again, a catchable ball there as Happ got a glove on it.
Yeah, he's won a couple gold gloves for them. This is just a lot of tight area in left field. He reached for the wall with his bare hand and his glove went up at the same time. So he was nervous about that wall and was maybe a little timid to go in harder because his glove opened up. He had room. He just didn't make the catch.
So now it's M.J. Melendez who gets a bit of a break from the Cubs' defense. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Alvarez leading from third with 2 out. Assad comes set. And the 0-1 to Melendez. Checks his swing, pitches high, no swing on appeal to third, says Junior Valentine. And it's 1-1 to Melendez, who is 0 for his last 15 and 8 for his last 74, batting just 184. 4 homers and 11 runs batted in. Cubs nothing, Mets nothing, 2 out last of the second. Alvarez at third, and time called now by Melendez. The Luis Torrens, the on-deck hitter for the Mets. Ramirez at third, way off the line, about even with a bag. Assad sets. Here's the 1-1. Melendez can't hold his swing this time at a fastball away. Appeared to have been out of the zone, but he went around, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Assad now 39 pitches into a sometimes laborious outing. Ahead of Melendez, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And he just missed inside with a fastball. No challenge from the catcher, Amaya. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Assad holding his glove to his ear. Checking in on the pitch com. Now the 2-2 pitch. High and away, ball 3. So Melendez has fought it full. And again, home plate bouncing around a bit on Javier Assad, who walked the first 2 batters in this inning. Got a ground ball double play. Might have been out of the inning after Happ chased a fly ball and foul ground that he couldn't catch. So now it's full to Melendez, and here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a fastball, and that retires the side. 3rd strikeout for Assad. And the Mets come up empty in the second. No runs, no hits. 2 walks, 1 left. And at the end of 2, it's the Cubs nothing, the Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Let's go Mets!
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a...
We go to the 3rd inning. Cubs nothing, Mets nothing, Keith.
And Nolan McLean, 32 pitches. We'll see 9-1-2. Dansby Swanson leads off. First pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. 96-mile-an-hour heater from McLean, and it's 0-1. So Swanson, the last guy in the Cubs order that has not hit yet, batting at 189 with 9 homers. 0-1. Pins the outside corner, another heater, and it's 0-2. Swanson came into the series hitting 183 and had a big night last night. Home run, double, sac fly, knocked in 4 of the 9 Cub runs. And at the end of the day, he's more of Dansby Swanson than he is whatever the batting average says, and we all saw that last night. McLean's 0-2. Just missed high with another fastball, and it's 1-2. That's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. The high-speed pitch is sponsored by Spectrum Fiber-powered Internet, the most reliable Internet you can count on. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Went with the high sweeper that time, and Swanson chases for strike 3. So 5 punch-outs for McLean to start his first time through the lineup. That first time through, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. And now he'll see these guys again. Pete Crow-Armstrong stepping in. We're coming to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. First pitch. Missed outside with a sinker, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. PCA knows a lot of the guys on the Mets. Came up with the likes of Beatty and Vientos, Mauricio. There's the 1-0. Bender misses outside, ball 2, but not a lot of McLean. Nolan was drafted well after the trade went down between the Mets and the Cubs. That was at the deadline 2021. That was when Zach Scott was the interim GM at the time. McLean winds and deals the 2-0. Fastball misses high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Now, Pete Crow Armstrong, when he was traded from the Mets, was at, I think, low A, and he had a torn labrum. So he was a young high school kid, very far away from the majors, and hurt. 3-0. Fastball's high. He walked him on 4 pitches.
Not a guy I want to walk either.
Not at all. He has stolen 18 out of 23, and there is almost no doubt he's going to run. That skill set, which we're seeing now at the big league level, the last piece of the puzzle for Crow Armstrong when he was drafted is what the Mets did not see when they traded him away. And that was the bat. They thought the bat was really weak, was going to lag behind already elite defense and great speed. So he's on. Conforto at the plate. McLean set. Pitch. Missed outside with a breaking ball. And Terens, as he received the throw, or the pitch, I should say, looked at Crow Armstrong at first base. If you missed it last night, it was a really strange play with Crow Armstrong at first. The batter was Michael Bush, who took ball 4, which would have moved the runner from first to second. But Crow Armstrong was running on the play. The Mets threw down just in case it was a strike. McLean sets and deals. Ground ball hit toward the left side. Bichette has it, flipped to second quickly for 1. Simeon to first, double play. They had to go fast, and they did. And that ground ball ends the inning. 6-4-3. They're able to double up Pete Crow Armstrong and get Conforto at first. And all of a sudden, a 1-out walk turns into a scoreless frame for Nolan McLean. Cubs nothing, Mets nothing, middle of 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the Speed Test Intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as
we go to the last of the 3rd inning, no score at Citi Field. Game 1 of 2 today, Mets and Cubs. Here's the first pitch to Luis Terens leading off. Terens takes a fastball strike from Javier Assad. Count 0-1 on Luis, former Cub. Here in year number 3 as a Met, hitting a .221 with a homer and 15 RBIs. 0-1 pitch from the righty. All the way to the backstop. Missed with a sweeper, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Behind Terens, you've got Benj and Ewing. That's who's on deck. Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Mets have had their chances in this game. Here's the 1-1. At the knees, called strike with a sinker, and it's 1-2. They left Ben standing at third in the first inning and left Alvarez at third base in the second inning. They also had first and second, nobody out to begin that second inning, but Assad has muscled up when it has been toughest against him, and so we stay scoreless. But same can be said for Nolan McLean, who was stranded a runner at third today as well. The 1-2. Terrens fouls back the fastball, and it stays a ball and 2 strikes on Terrens. Mention that the Norwegian fans are here. The World Cup going on. Of course, we were in Philly last week. Brazil was playing Haiti at Citizens, or I should say at Lincoln Financial Field, same parking lot at Citizens Bank Park. 1-2, way outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's just fun to walk the streets in Philly. And if you walk the streets of Manhattan right now, you probably feel the same way. You see a lot of soccer jerseys, a lot of people from other parts of the world. That's a really cool time right now. And I'm told, too, I think Pat said that a lot of German fans are here, too, but the Norwegians are out in full force. 2-2 in there. Got him looking. Sinker. Turned it up that time to 95 on the sinker to strike out Terrens. There's 1 away. Well, no score, bottom 3. I looked it up. There's only 3 ever players in baseball history who were born in Norway that made the major leagues. And a lot of them are from way back when, the black and white times. Pitch to Benj is fouled off to the left side for strike 1. You've got John Anderson, who played from 94 to 08. That would be 1894 to 1908.
Oh, I remember him now.
Jimmy Wiggs, 1903 to 1906. And then Art Jorgens, former Yankee catcher. 0-1, fouled back. It's 0-2 on Benj. I was reading up on Jorgens because I never heard of him. You probably heard of the guy who was playing as the catcher for the Yankees, Bill Dickey. Well, Jorgens was the backup catcher and ended up winning 5 World Series rings and didn't play an inning of a World Series game for any of those years.
That's easy money.
The 0-2 is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And apparently the line was, and Jorgens loved it, he loved it. He said the line was, that guy's got more splinters in his fanny than Pinocchio, because he's always riding the bench. The 1-2 just missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carson Benj.
He grabbed some pine and didn't let go.
No. Rode that roller coaster into 5 titles in the 1930s with the Yankees. Art Jorgens. No score, bottom 3, 2-2 to Benj. Fastball's high, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a great baseball term, grab some pine.
Yep.
I remember being on a charter with the Mets once, and pilot said, everybody better take their seats, and guys are walking around, and John Franco was the captain. He said, hey, guys, grab some pine.
Payoff. Benj hits it hard but foul, pulling it outside of first, and it stays full. Well, talking about those Norwegians, they're right now, it's almost like they're doing
line dances.
Yeah, really. Or they've got arms on each other's shoulders. They're going up and down the aisles out there, back and forth in the rows. They're having a grand old time. Payoff to Benj. Lifted in the air to right, not deep. Conforto broke back now, works his way in. Picks it out of the air for the second out of the 3rd inning. 2 down, no scored. A.J. Ewing coming up.
I don't think those guys out there have any idea what they're watching, nor do they care.
Nope. But they are very interested in finding out where that neon-shirted beer vendor is as he carries his bucket on his head down the steps of those seats out there in right center. And
that vendor's going to be able to retire by the time this day is over with.
So here's Ewing batting left. Assad deals. And he swings, pops it up. Shallow left, angling toward foul ground near the tarp. Ramirez over. Happ, though, comes in, makes the catch in foul ground. Ewing flies out to end the inning. A foul out down the left field line. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets, and we go to the 4th. Scoreless with the Cubs on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
If If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of...
Still scoreless, Mets and Cubs as we jump to the top of the fourth inning. It is the Newsday inning. Dave Lennon is in the house. First pitch to Michael Busch, fouled off right over the head of Seiya Suzuki, the on-deck hitter, who just saw his life flash before his eyes.
Wow.
And that is an introduction to the fourth inning. Strike one. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, it's great. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Beautiful day at the office.
Should we start a Viking row in the booth here?
You got to get out there. You got to immerse yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe the next Dave Lennon column.
They're having a blast out there in center field right now.
McLean winds and deals the 0-1. Fastball runs up and in. Cutter, and it's 1-1 strike. This fourth inning brought to you by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. 1-1 to Busch. Popped up foul, third base side and out of play. And it's 1-2. Well, the Norwegians are having fun. Kodai Senga, unfortunately, is not. We found out today that Carlos Mendoza said Senga is going to the bullpen.
Yeah, in the least surprising move ever, demoting Senga, but in also a stunning admission in a sense, given where this team is rotation-wise, that they were forced to do that.
McLean, wind up, rocks and deals. Pitch hit him in the foot. Did he go on the check swing? No. So this is a painful hit by pitch for Michael Busch. It would have been a much more painful strikeout had Junior Valentine said he went around. So Busch is standing just outside the dirt, up the first baseline grass, now hobbling and stops. And they're going to run out and take a look at him as he makes his way to first.
Dave, one thing we don't know, I only say that because I don't recall anybody having asked Carlos Mendoza before the game, and it didn't dawn on me until later that maybe I should have anyway, since it was on my mind. But I wonder if they asked Senga if he would accept the demotion to AAA, try and work his way out of it down there, as opposed to really being a last resort in the bullpen, because that's what he is right now. It's very hard to run him out there right now.
Yeah, as we know, he agreed to do that last year,
right,
Howie, when push came to shove. And it was interesting this year, they were at the same crossroads with him back in April when he had started very badly as well, and everybody was wondering, was it going to come time, to ask him that again? Lo and behold, he came up with the lumbar spine inflammation and went on the IL. So that's a great question. I'm not sure how. I haven't really seen that happen with somebody repeatedly before. Usually that happens once, and then that's it.
Michael Busch is going to stay in the game. First base, he is still not feeling great. One of the trainers and Craig Counsell run off the field. No score, top four, runner at first. Seiya Suzuki is coming up. I think last night he's at one of the stock answers. They haven't told me anything quite yet.
Yeah, he was asked about it last night afterwards.
Correct. Right. Suzuki struck out looking his first time, climbs in. First pitch to the righty. Pins the outside corner. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, you mentioned, and Mendoza talked about a little before the game, about how he was asked whether he could help us out of the bullpen, and he's not being put there to help. He's being put there to be stashed.
0-1. Ground ball hit weakly left side. Beatty cuts off the shortstop, flips to second one. Semien just holds right there. Would not have been able to throw out Suzuki at first. So put out at second goes 5-4. Suzuki reaches on a fielder's choice. 1 out, 1 on. Ian Happ coming up. No score, top of the fourth. Dave Lennon of Newsday hanging out with us. 2 for the price of 1 today. Are you here tonight?
I'm here for tonight, too, sure.
Look at that.
Double feature.
Laura was one and done last night.
That's it. That's right.
We'll see her next homestand.
Well, it all depends on whether this falls on the day you have to work or not. It's called luck of the draw.
First pitch to Happ batting left. McLean runs one up and in. That's 1 ball and no strikes. I find it interesting, too. I know Senga has been struggling, but everybody's been struggling. Of all the people that, get demoted, I get Senga, but Peterson is not throwing the ball well either. 1-0 misses high, 2-0. Minaya has had to do bullpen rebuild trust back to starter, but I just don't think Senga, they've been able to figure him out for 3 years now.
Yeah, I think that's the part you mentioned.
2-0. Downstairs, ball 3 on Happ.
It's the puzzle part, trying to figure out how to get him right. And as Mendoza touched on today, too, is the first inning, he looked good. Fastball in the high 90s, touching 99.
McLean set, runner at first, 3-0. Happ gets hit. Second hit batsman of the inning.
That's 11 batters that McLean has hit this year.
And that was on 3-0. So Bush, who had been hit, was erased on that fielder's choice. Suzuki is the one that goes to second. Happ's at first base, so first and second still one out. Nico Horner coming up, and Justin Willard is going to go out to talk to McLean.
And that hit batsman ties McLean for the most in the league with Washington's Cade Cavalli.
As they talk, we'll pause 10 seconds, station ID.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
At Citi Field in Flushing with Howie Rose, my name is Keith Radd. Top of the fourth, Newsday inning. Dave Lennon hanging out with us. Mets and Cubs are scoreless. Nolan McLean, though, has hit 2 batters in the inning, so it's first and second with Nico Horner coming up. Second time through the lineup for McLean. No strikeouts. 3 freebies, a walk, and 2 hit batsmen. Remember, first time through, he had struck out 5 of these Cubs. So righty against righty with Horner. Middle infield back, first pitch. Swing and a miss, blew that one by him, and Horner almost fell over. Couldn't touch 97, and it's 0-1.
Well, you mentioned the hit batsman there. I mean, I think we found with McLean is that when, his pitchers start to get a lot more movement, or has less control of that movement, that's where you see the guys getting hit.
0-1 on Horner, who climbs back in. Grounded out to first base his first time. Suzuki off second. 0-1. Horner grounds one to first. Young all the way over to his left. Fields runs to first in time for the out. And the runners move up to second and third. Suzuki to third, Happ to second, 2 outs. That ground ball was in a spot where Young basically had to go get it, couldn't grab it, and turn it into a double play. His only play was to first. So there are 2 outs. Pedro Ramirez coming up.
Yeah, this is an easy. Nothing's easy, but I mean, this is a favorable path for McLean to get out of this inning via a hitter who did not have a competitive plate appearance last time, as McLean buried 2 breaking balls that were swung on and missed and then froze him with a fastball. 3 pitches, strike 3.
Now Ramirez batting left, first pitch, missed outside with a breaking ball. That's 1 ball and no strikes. 22-year-old Pedro Ramirez, ready for this, Dave, born April of 2004.
Oh,
that's scary.
So are my socks.
Infield
That's
back
wild.
around to the right, the 1-0. Swing and a miss, couldn't touch 95, and it is 1-1. And those Norwegian fans in right field, booing and eyeing and chanting.
It's coming right through the headphones. It's a pretty loud crew.
They're saluting Steve Gelbs, who was just out there.
And his Viking hat on with the horns. 1-1. Missed inside. Ball 2. I mean, if you're listening on radio, you probably think, wow, there's got to be 5,000-10,000 of them. Not really. I'd say about 500 or 600 people out there.
Yeah, if that.
You can imagine an actual World Cup game. 2-1. Breaking ball. Strike 2 and 2. And McLean is a strike away from getting out of this. Cubs have second and third. 2 outs. Top 4, no score.
But are they cheering for the Mets to get out of this, or are they cheering for the Cubs to get a run? I can't
have no idea what they're cheering for.
I can't tell whose
cheering.
side they're on.
It's 80 degrees. It's sunny. They're in New York City. That's what they're cheering.
Suds have kicked in.
The set and the 2-2. Breaking ball got him. Ball in the dirt. Terens flips it to first to complete the 2-3 put out and end the inning. McLean once again walks the tightrope. Strands second and third. We go to the bottom of the fourth. No score. Dave, we'll see you tonight.
I'll see you at the nightcap, gents.
It's a Dave doubleheader coming at you later. That is Dave Leonard of Newsday. More next on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long seventh-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the Speed Test Intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus,
we go to the bottom of the fourth inning at Citi Field. No score, Mets and Cubs. Bo Bichette leads off. First pitch. Assad misses outside with a spinner. Cutter, and that's 1 ball and no strikes. Bichette, Young, and Alvarez, that is your heart of the order for the day, 3, 4, and 5. Here's the 1-0. At the knees called strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Again, with Soto out, Carlos Mendoza moves some things around, even with a righty out there. Ewing is hitting second instead of yesterday hitting fifth. Here's the 1-1 to Bo. Line to left field is a base hit. Turned on that slider. Happ cuts it off and fires in. So Bichette has his first hit of the game. And the Mets have another leadoff man on. This is the third time in 4 innings they've had the leadoff man on. Only problem is, kind of like what the Cubs are doing, they're getting him on, but Javier Assad is shutting them down. Same deal with Nolan McLean. So even though this has been a scoreless game, there's been a ton of traffic. And Bichette is on for another stab at it. So now Jared Young, who struck out his first time. Assad about to throw his 60th pitch. And it's fouled off behind home plate for strike 1. For Assad, he's been vaulted back into the rotation. Question is how much can he give you? Last time out, 92 pitches. Didn't get out of the 6th, though. Went 5 2/3 against Colorado. He is their swing man. 0-1. Lined in the air to left field. This is deep. Happ back, turns and looks. And this one is gone. Jared Young out to left field. 2-run opposite field home run. It's Jared Young against his former team, the Cubs. And in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Mets strike first and take a 2-0 lead.
That was a slumping Jared Young, who had been just 2 for his last 27. Goes Oppo on Assad.
For Young, his 5th home run. He's in that cleanup spot, and when he was in it, and he was deserving to be in it, he was hitting. And right now, as you said, Howie, it's taken a little bit, a little 10-day stretch where he struggled, right back at it. Here's Alvarez. First pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. So Jared Young has been a nice breath of fresh air in this Mets lineup that has needed a lot of fresh air. 1-0. Alvarez smacks one to deep center field. This one's on the way. Where's this one going to land? Oh, deep to left center. Alvarez and Young go back-to-back, and it's 3-0 New York in the 4th. A high, majestic shot just to the left of the batter's side, beyond the Fiesta deck. A 437-foot bomb. Alvarez is 7th. He's homered on back-to-back nights, and the Mets have finally started hitting here in this 4th inning.
That's something, isn't it? He has always hit the Chicago Cubs well, whether here or in Chicago. 18 games against them. He's put up huge numbers.
It's the 7th home run against the Cubs, most against any opponent. And that was just a beautiful, big Alvarez swing. Here's Beatty with nobody out. First one from Assad, rings in at the knees. Sinker strike, and it's 0-1. So all of a sudden, after neither team could scratch across a run, the Mets used the long ball. Not something that they do very often. To take a 3-0 lead. 0-1. Beatty goes the other way toward left. Hat back, stops at the track, and makes the catch for the first out. Everybody in the building who's here thought, 3 in a row. Not quite.
Well, it's 4th time the Mets have gone back-to-back this year. Benjamin Alvarez did it on opening day. Bichette and Soto, Ewing and Semien, and now Young and Alvarez.
Mets' first runs of the game, sponsored by Sloman's. Call or visit ac.slomans.com for the best pricing on Central AC. Pitch to Semien. Fouled into the mitt, right on right. That's 0-1. So 3-0 Mets. Assad still going here, 66 pitches. Nobody up in that Cubs bullpen. And again, this is game 1 of 2 today. 0-1. Missed outside of the backstop. And it's 1-1. So in the first game, you might see a little bit more of a nudge than a regular game where you could just jump into the bullpen and save a pitcher who might be struggling. Got to cover at least 9 more innings tonight. Assad hugs that red glove against his gray jersey and deals the 1-1. Missed outside. 2 balls and a strike on Semien. Make your favorite Met players All-Stars. Cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star ballot daily at MLB.com/vote. 2-1, grounded toward the middle. Horner fields behind second from the outfield grass. Throws high, but Bush drops down on the bag before Semien's foot hits the pillow. So all that, it's a 4-3 putout. High throw from Horner, but Bush had enough time to levitate, return to earth before Semien did. The Mets are not going to challenge this. That pulled Bush in the air about a foot. Pretty good hops from Michael Bush, who got hit by a pitch before.
And clearly out at first base. There was nothing to challenge there.
3-0 New York, bottom 4. Here's Melendez. First pitch, down and in. Fastball missed, and it's 1-0. So the Mets have a lead here in this series. Remember that Philadelphia series, they won the first game on Thursday. 1-0. Missed inside. 2 balls and no strikes. But it's just been this stretch of 7-8 games where Mets starters have struggled. Big early hole for the offense. And so the whole plan changes when you are behind early. Well, today the Mets are ahead early. 2-0. Fouled off. It's 2-1. When you have a plan, which is usually in the hitters meeting at 4:30 on a regular 7 o'clock game. Okay, this starter does X, Y, and Z. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these, swing at these. He's going to do these to lefties, this to righties. And you go in there with a plan. But when you are down early, then you have to take a pitch, take some time. Everything changes. The windup, and Assad's 2-1. Swing and a miss. Powered that by at 93, up and in. Melendez couldn't catch up to it. And it's 2-2. MJ struck out his first time. That was to end the second inning. And he calls for time. Now is the perfect time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com for more info and an installer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers. 2-2. Fouled off behind home plate. That stays 2-2. Tonight's game will feature Sean Manaea. So the Mets will throw Manaea out there, who's been pretty good, back-to-back starts. Shota Imanaga, who is supposed to start Monday's game, will pitch tonight.
He was supposed to have started Sunday, too, but they were rained out.
2-2. Melendez rips one through the right side, a base hit between Bush and Horner going into right field. So Assad was one strike away from ending what has been his roughest inning of the day, but Melendez kicks the can down the road for at least another hitter. It's Luis Torrens with 1 on and 2 out.
And that hit breaks an 0-for-16 drought for MJ Melendez.
And Torrens took strike 3 his first time. It's up 3-0, 2 homers in the inning. 2-run shot by Young, solo shot by Alvarez. The set and the pitch. Fastball missed inside, 1-0 on Torrens, who was a Cub in 2023. That was the last big league job he had before the Yankees grabbed him and stashed him at AAA. It was AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre in 24, where the Mets plucked him for $100,000. Throw to first. Melendez dives back in safely. And Luis, in early May, when the Mets were in Anaheim, on his birthday, was gifted a new 2-year extension worth $11 million. So he'll be a Met for the next couple seasons. Waggles the bat over his right shoulder. Another throw over there. Melendez in safely. So 2 disengagements. They're daring Melendez to go. MJ has tried it once and failed. He is 0 for 1.
Pretty obsessive to worry about Melendez with a number 9 hitter up anyway. You're Assad. You want to just get Torrens here.
Nobody throwing. The 1-0. Popped up towards short. Swanson backpedals 2 steps, looks up to the sunny sky, makes the catch to end the inning. But a fruitful inning for the Mets. Young and Alvarez go back-to-back. It's 3-0 New York. We go to the 5th. The lead over the Cubs on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally, take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years...
Sun shining here at Citi Field as we go to the top of the 5th. Mets up 3-0. 2-run home run by Jared Young. Solo home run by Francisco Alvarez. So for Nolan McLean, Howie, a lead.
All right, and he's going to face 8-9-1. Thank you, Keith. In the Cubs batting order, starting with Miguel Amaya, who hit back to the mound his first time. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter spins low for ball 1. Amaya, born in Panama in his 4th big league season. Carson Kelly caught last night. And the 1-0, fastball to the knees, a called strike. It's 1-1. And if you are inclined to keep a positive, somewhat optimistic outlook about the Mets for the second half of the year, here's the 1-1 fouled straight back out of play, and the count 1-2. You'll understand then that games against a lot of these teams in the National League, specifically the Cubs, are very, very important. Because if the Mets are able to find some equilibrium and reel off the kind of streak that would get them back into the mix for that wild card, 1-2 on the way, punch foul off the hands back to the screen. So it remains 1-2. Well, not only are the Cubs one of the teams that the Mets are chasing, but now the Mets have already lost the season series to the Cubs. They've won the first 4 of 7. The 1-2 swung on and missed strike 3. Got him with a good hard sinker. Strikeout number 7 for McLean. 1 away, and Dansby Swanson coming up. But consider what happened last year when the Mets lost the season series tiebreaker to the Cincinnati Reds, and that's why the Mets did not get that final wild card spot, and the Reds did. Well, the Mets have already lost the season series to the Cubs. They've lost the season series to the Reds. First pitch to Dansby Swanson, popped up foul, first base side. That'll reach the seats behind the dugout. And the count 0-1. They've already lost the season series to the Diamondbacks.
And St. Louis.
And the Cardinals. But, I mean, you just look at the Cubs, Reds, and the Diamondbacks. You know, the Cubs have that third wild card spot right now, which is the last one. So, you know, just for the Mets to get there, it's not just that they have to, you know, climb over all those teams. The 0-1 waved at and missed a cutter, and it's 0-2 to Swanson. But even if they were to get there and tie one of those teams for the last spot, well, they've already lost those tiebreakers. So these games might not appear particularly significant on the surface. And, yeah, where the Mets are in the standings, I understand it's easy to dismiss them. But the reality is there's a half season to go. The 0-2 in there, called strike 3. 8 strikeouts for McLean, including 3 in a row. Swanson's punched out twice. 2 out, nobody on, and Pete Crow Armstrong coming up. And tomorrow, when the Mets and Cubs finish their business in the final game of this series tomorrow night, well, that will be the exact halfway point of the season for the Mets. And for that matter, the Cubs. It'll be each of their 81st games. Crow Armstrong fouls the first one straight back, 0-1.
So Mets right now are 7 back of the last wild card, but you have to almost add a game to it. Like you're saying, it's almost 8 back because you cannot finish tied with some of those teams.
And you look at the Marlins. The Marlins swept the Mets earlier this year. They're ahead of the Mets, and they lead today. 0-1 to Crow Armstrong. Breaking ball for a called strike, 0-2. New York Lottery sponsors the scoreboard. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Miami leading the Rangers 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th in Miami. 0-2 to Crow Armstrong. Line to right field. That's a base hit. Moving back on it is Benj. He picks it up and fires in, and Crow Armstrong is now hit in 12 straight games. He holds it first with a 2-out single. Only the second hit against Nolan McLean, and it'll bring up Michael Conforto. Cleveland and the White Sox being delayed by rain in Chicago. White Sox have a 1-game lead over the Guardians in the American League Central. So, you know, those are big games, too. It's a relatively weak division where you got the White Sox 4 over 500, the Guardians 2 over 500. And yet one of them, even with a sub-500 record, could wind up in a wild card spot in the American League. Throw to first, Crow Armstrong back.
Yeah, there's no doubt the NL is much, much stronger this year than the NL.
It's been quite a while since we've been able to say that with that much conviction. Conforto 0 for 2, strikeout in a double play. Pitch, swinging a liner the other way, slicing, fair ball. Base hit going into the left field corner. Crow Armstrong flying. He's to third. He's being waved in. There will not be a relay throw made by Bichette. Crow Armstrong scores. Conforto in second with an RBI double, and the Cubs are on the board. The Mets lead is cut to 3-1.
I know Crow Armstrong went diving into the plate, but he doesn't have to. There's no reason for it. He's so fast. I mean, a ball down the line, and he's at first base. He's automatic for scoring.
So now Michael Busch will be the batter. He was hit by a pitch in the leg his last time up. For a moment, it looked like he might have a little difficulty staying in the game, but he has. He's also walked. 3 hits now for the Cubs against McLean. First pitch, way outside and high, ball 1. Busch, when he drew a walk in the first inning, reached base for the 27th consecutive game. So the Mets have out hit the Cubs 5-3 and lead 3-1. Conforto at second with 2 out. We're in the 5th, a 1-0. Swing and a drive deep to right field towards the pole and fair and off the facing of the Coca-Cola corner, the second deck for a game-tying 2-run homer from Michael Busch. And the Cubs have tied the game 3-3.
And all this with 2 outs. McLean, third time through the lineup. Cubs seeing him better. Single, double, homer to start the third time through.
Isn't that something? He had been dominant after hitting Happ in the 4th inning. And now the 2-run homer by Busch has evened it up, 3-3. So here's Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki, right-hand batter, and he's homered twice against McLean. That was last year. First pitch off the outside corner for ball 1.
And McLean, too, last 4 starts. 1 run, 2 runs, no earned runs. We have not seen this in about a month.
Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. We've seen this occasionally from McLean, where trouble begets more trouble. And things tend to spiral and mushroom. McLean has 2 outs, nobody on here. But here's the 2-0 to Suzuki. Below the knees with a fastball, ball 3. He and Happ on deck. And I would think, as well as Suzuki's been swinging the bat lately, he'll be hacking here 3-0 if it's where he likes it. Here's the pitch. He takes it. It's in for a called strike right around the belt. And it's 3-1 to Seiya Suzuki. This 5th inning is sponsored by Elec 825, building our future. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there. And McLean has fought back to a full count. His pitch count is not really an issue. I don't know if he can get Suzuki here. He's at 78 now. He'd like to be around 75 through 5, so he's in the neighborhood. Payoff pitch. Swinging a liner up the middle, all the way out to second. Semion's got it. Throws to first in time, and that retires the side. Cubs tie it. 3 runs, 3 hits. No errors, nobody left. Middle of the 5th. Cubs 3, Mets 3. On Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the Speed Test Intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker, too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Carson Benj leads off the last of the 5th in a 3-3 game. Takes a curveball for a called strike 1 from Javier Assad. Benj, Ewing, and Bichette, top 3 in the Mets batting order here in the last of the 5th, as we're all even again. That didn't take long. The 0-1 pitch, fastball on the inside corner, a called strike, and it's 0-2. Mets gave McLean a 3-0 lead at the end of 4, and after McLean struck out the first 2 in the 5th, single, double, home run, 3-3. 0-2 to Benj. Now the pitch, in there, strike 3 call. Fastball over the middle half, and that's the first out. 5th strikeout for Assad, and we'll pause for station identification.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Howie Rose, Keith Rad with you at Citi Field, where the Cubs quickly trimmed and eliminated the Mets' lead. It's 3-3 here in the 5th. Azek exteriors. Wood rots. Azek trim does not. Pitch to A.J. Ewing, taken high and away for ball 1. Ewing flied to right. Michael Conforto made a nice catch on him, running into the fence in the first inning. Then he flied out to left. Assad's 1-0. Swinging a liner in the air to left. Pretty well hit. Going back is Happ. Still going onto the track. Makes the one-hand catch. And there are 2 men away. So Bo Bichette will be the batter. He's sitting in the third spot, which is usually Juan Soto. Soto and his 17 home runs on the bench for this first game. Still no further update about his sore back. But banking with Apple Bank is a home run. Learn more at applebank.com. So Bichette, 1 out of 2, singled and scored in the 4th inning. 3-3 game in the afternoon portion of a day-night doubleheader. And Assad not quite now ready finally. And the first pitch, lined hard up the middle, backhanded on the fly by Horner, the second baseman, and that retires the side. It looked again as though Assad was not on the same page with Amaya, but Horner bailed him out and the Mets go in order. And at the end of 5, it's the Cubs 3, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Come on, ref, and
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs or the cool relatives still...
6th inning at Citi Field. Mets 3, Cubs 3. It'll be Ian Happ, Nico Horner, and Pedro Ramirez to face Nolan McLean, who's at 79 pitches through 5. And the first pitch to Happ, batting left-handed. Spins outside. A sweeper. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Happ led off the 2nd inning with a double, but Cubs couldn't get him home. Then he was hit by a pitch in the 4th. McLean's hit a pair today. The 1-0, fastball in, tight ball 2. McLean now tied for the most hit batsmen among National League pitchers with 11. He and Cade Cavalli of the Washington Nationals. Here's the 2-0. And the bat goes flying as he swings and misses, and that bat lands in the Mets dugout right near the entrance towards the clubhouse. That time the bat did not catch the protective netting and stay there as it did on the last homestand.
Jacob Marcy of the Marlins. That was a great moment.
I guess that was 2 homestands ago.
Yes, it was. This bat hit the net and came down, didn't hit anybody. But I remember sitting here after the Marcy one, the bat was hanging there for the rest of the game. Everybody left the building to go home. And they brought somebody from operations. The ladder came out. Were able to pull that bat down, put that video on Twitter. A lot of people were very sad to see the bat go. They thought it was good luck.
It was unique. 2-1 to Happ. Now McLean deals. Missed inside with a fastball, ball 3. Beatty way off the line at third. Outfield straightaway. 3-1 to Happ. And that's in for a called strike of the knees, 3-2. Mentioned that McLean's hit 2 batters to tie for the most in the National League. It's a former Met, Anthony Kay, who has 14 hit batsmen, most in the majors. Payoff pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. So, it just continues to create base runners when you do that, apart from whatever might happen afterwards. Neither of the hit batsmen in the fourth scored, but the Cubs have had runners, at least one, on base in each of the first 5 innings. Now it's 3-2, and the payoff pitch to Happ. Swinging a high fly ball. That's way up there to center field. Ewing camping under it, waiting. Makes the one-hand catch, 1 man out. So that will bring up Nico Horner. Celebrate Pride Night at Citi Field on Friday, June 26th. First 15,000 fans will receive an exclusive Mets Pride sleeveless jersey, courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Horner has twice grounded to first, once pitcher covering. First pitch, breaking ball is high, 1-0. Marlins have defeated the Rangers and Jacob deGrom 4-2. Final in Miami. Marlins, one of many teams ahead of the Mets. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Marlins right now at this moment, pending the outcome of this game, are 6.5 games ahead of the Mets. Mets trailing the Cubs by 7 for the wild card spot. And the Marlins hanging in. I mean, they're 3 games over 500 now. Marlins and the Nationals, even though the Nationals blew that game last night at home in rather profound fashion against the Phillies, they've turned things around a bit. The 1-1 on the inside corner, a called strike, and it's 1-2. Pedro Ramirez waiting on deck. Ewing takes a few steps to where he's right behind second base now in center. He was towards right center. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, line the other way down the right field line. Heading after it is Benji. Won't get it. It's in for his hit. A hit. He plays the ball on the warning track. Going to second is Horner, and he's in there standing with a 1-out double. So now the Cubs have the go-ahead man in scoring position with 1 out, and a guy who has really struggled at the plate, Pedro Ramirez, coming up. He has struck out twice and really didn't appear to have much of a chance against McLean either time.
Well, third time through, the hits are coming, and they're coming for extra bases. So Huáscar Brazoban with McLean at 90 pitches, warming up for the Mets. But you're right, this is a matchup that should favor Nolan McLean right here.
Cubs have 5 hits, 4 of them for extra bases. Identical totals, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. So Ramirez, batting left-handed, takes high and away a fastball for ball 1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball there as McLean is at 91 pitches thrown here. As Keith mentioned, Brazoban, who's been great getting ready. The 1-0 pitch. Ramirez lines it to second, caught by Semien. Back to the bag at second is Horner, and they're at 2 men away. So progress anyway for Pedro Ramirez, who punched out his first 2 times, but now they're at 2 men away. And the go-ahead run still at second. The number 8 hitter, Miguel Amaya, will be the batter.
It's kind of a great indication of what that third time through is for everybody, right? Some of these hitters are getting better. And even Pedro Ramirez, who couldn't touch McLean, lines out in this third time through.
It's certainly irrefutable. The data supports that idea. Pitch to Amaya, in tight, 1 ball and no strikes. But the way the game is managed now, you've got, in most cases, forget about today where you have a 27th man. Most teams now have 8 pitchers in the bullpen who are specifically relievers. The 1-0. That's line the other way, foul down the right field side. The count 1-1. The game has become so specialized, but nowhere more so than the pitching department and specifically the use of relievers. I asked Carlos Mendoza about something specific relating to that before the game today. 1-1 to Amaya, breaking ball high and away, ball 2. I said, if you use one of your key relievers in the first game and he just throws a limited amount of pitches, would he be in play for the second game, or are we just living in the past, man? The 2-1 bounced foul over by the third base dugout, and it's 2-2. And now one thing, he didn't rule it out. He mentioned Weaver and Brazoban specifically as guys who, depending on what kind of workload they might get in the opener, would potentially have a chance to play a role tonight. Don't count on it, though. 2-2. Pitch to Amaya. High and tight with a fastball, ball 3. Cubs have the lefty Ryan Rollison, who was impressive last night, throwing in their bullpen now. Gone are the days where Jesse Orozco would win both ends of a doubleheader in relief. 3-2. Here's payoff pitch to Amaya. Swinging a hard-hit liner foul down the third base line beyond the reach of Beatty. Just got out in front a little bit. And Beatty close enough to the line so that had that ball been fair, there's a pretty good chance Brett would have caught it anyway. And it remains 3-2 to Amaya with Dansby Swanson on deck. And if it should come down to Swanson, then another call for Carlos Mendoza because McLean has struck Swanson out twice. 3-2 to Amaya. McLean sets the pitch. Swinging a little looper toward short. Backhanded by Bichette. Long throw to first. Slow runner. Safe the call at first. And not by a whole lot. But going to third and holding there is Horner. So now the decision. If you're Carlos, McLean has struck out Swanson twice. He's got Brazoban ready. But what do you do here?
We're going to send Justin Willard out there just to bide some time a little bit for the decision. I think Brazoban is certainly ready if they want to call on him, but it's, again, decision time for Carlos Mendoza. Look at the matchups, look at the thoughts. But that's just first of all, you've got Amaya with 2 strikes. He just kind of sticks his booty back and shoots the barrel through the zone, and luck finds a little base hit, puts it in a spot where Bichette can't get a strong throw at first base, and now it's runners at the corners. And this is what you see third time through. Everybody has made contact against McLean. No strikeouts third time through. And that's the risk you run when you are in this spot. Those are part of the decision-making processes when you're deciding, do I stick with my starter or do I go with somebody fresh?
Well, Brooks Raley now, the lefty, is up in the Mets bullpen with Pete Crow-Armstrong due up next. So Carlos Mendoza is banking on McLean to get Swanson, having struck him out twice before, despite what Keith just told you about the difference in how the Cubs have gone after and succeeded to an extent against McLean that third time through. So potentially pivotal point in the game right here. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Mets 3, Cubs 3. Remember, Swanson batting just $188 in an off year, to be sure, to this point. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Swanson's strikeouts have both come swinging. He's a guy that generally strikes out a lot. Not as much as some of the others in this league, but still 66 already. 68 counting today. The 1-0 swung on, hit high in the air to left center field. It's pretty deep, going back at the wall is Melendez. He jumps. It's gone for a 3-run homer for Dansby Swanson. Ewing was there too, but the ball sailed over the fence into the Fiesta deck. And so the gamble was that the third time through, despite the success that McLean had against Swanson the first 2 times, and the way the Cubs had handled him the third time through, Carlos banked on McLean getting Swanson, but oh, did Swanson get McLean. A 3-run homer, and the Cubs lead 6-3. Isn't that the way this season has gone?
He just got mauled this third time through, top to bottom. Everybody second or third time around has had just much stronger swings.
And now Crow-Armstrong bats, and McLean pitches to him, and a swing and a miss at a sweeper, strike 1.
Swanson's driven in 7 runs already in this series.
Home run number 10 on the year for Swanson. And Nolan McLean just dropped his head in dismay after seeing that ball go out beyond the 370 mark. 3 runs in this inning, 3 in the 5th for the Cubs. They lead 6-3. The 0-1 to Crow-Armstrong, waved at and missed a curve, and it's 0-2. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. That retires the side. McLean at 104 pitches through 6 was given the opportunity to get Swanson. Swanson got him. 3 runs, 3 hits. No errors, nobody left. Middle of the 6th, Cubs 6, Mets 3. on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long seventh-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data of national speed score results for the second half of 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of the speed test intelligence data for the second half of 2025.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Now we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Mets now trailing the Cubs 6-3, and lefty Ryan Rollison, who worked a 1-2-3 inning in the eighth in relief last night, will face Mark Vientos batting for Jared Young in a lefty-righty switch. First pitch to the right-hand hitting Vientos. Check swing. Did he go? No. On appeal to first, says John Bacon. It's ball one. And he's hitting for Jared Young, who hit a two-run homer his last time up. But simply playing the percentages here. Rollison's been good this year, never mind just last night. The 1-0, check swing. That time it looked like he went around, but no again, says John Bacon. Maybe the Mets get a bit of a break there. Either way, it's 2-0 to Vientos, batting .221 with 9 homers and 32 runs batted in. Rollison 5-1 on the year, a 1.88 ERA. And the 2-0 is on the outside corner, a called strike.
Well, Vientos is going to challenge this one.
He won one last night.
The previous pitch was called a strike. The batter is challenging.
Well, now Austin Jones takes center stage. And it is a strike on the outside corner.
The call is confirmed. New York has one challenge remaining.
Just barely. It's a nasty pitch from Rollison.
Ryan Rollison, originally signed with Colorado, was a waiver pickup from the White Sox. 2-1 the count to Vientos. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A curve in the dirt. And it's 2-2. Jonathan Pintaro, technically the 27th man on the roster for the Mets in the doubleheader today, is warming up in the bullpen now. So 2-2 to Vientos. Now Rollison deals. Breaking ball, missed outside, full count. The last thing that Cubs manager Craig Counsell wants to see is a leadoff walk after taking a 3-run lead. Remember, the Mets took a 3-run lead. Cubs came right back in the next half inning to tie, and then went ahead in the top of the sixth inning. Rollison got into 31 games with the Rockies last year. It was his only big league experience. Payoff pitch, breaking ball, low inside, ball 4. And Craig Counsell, who not exactly Steve Martin in that Cubs bullpen anyway, probably had a sense of humor tested even more with that leadoff walk to Vientos.
And we saw Counsell last night, and all the faces of Craig Counsell, who ended up squirming with his pitcher Cabrera, walking a ton of batters and then getting hurt, and then we saw Counsell get ejected last night. So 2 games today full of a lot more sour faces from Craig Counsell.
Well, here's Francisco Alvarez swinging a good bat. The first pitch taken up top of the zone, slider for a called strike. 0-1. He's in our fifth batter spotlight, brought to you by Key Food. Look for all of your favorite products at your local Key Food. Key Food and their family of supermarkets. The 0-1. Swinging a tapper foul up the third base line. It's 0-2. Rollison has come back from serious shoulder problems. Had surgery a few years ago. Anytime you leave the Rockies organization as a pitcher, you probably feel emancipated. And the results have been good for Rollison this year, now pitching back-to-back. 0-2, curve down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alvarez has walked and homered. Brett Beatty waiting on deck. So Javier Assad, the starter, went 5, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 homers allowed. 1-2 pitch. Fastball missed inside, ball 2. Outfield is deep and straight away against Alvarez, who's homered in each of the first 2 games of this series. Rollison sets, 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low, ball 3. So again, the Mets being invited back in here by Cub Wildness out of the bullpen. As first the walk to the pinch hitter Vientos. And now it's 3-2 to Alvarez. Rollison delivers. Swinging a liner over short, base hit, center field. In to get it, Crow Armstrong. Down to second goes Vientos, and the Mets are open for business here in the 6th inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Brett Beatty due up, but it looks like the Mets are going to go to Eric Wagaman, and another lefty-righty move as the pinch hitter.
And it has worked for the Mets when they have used pinch hitters to drive in runs. Wagaman was a great testament to that in the win against Philadelphia last week. But when Carlos Mendoza has gone to his bench, we've seen them toward the top of the league, 3rd or 4th in the league, with simply knocking in runs in these situations. And so knowing that times are getting a little tough, Tommy Hotovy, once again the pitching coach for the Cubs, is back out on the mound to talk to his reliever Rollison and the entire infield. All the while, right-hander Ethan Roberts getting loose for Chicago.
Celebrate America 250 at Citi Field on June 27th. That's Saturday. First 15,000 fans will get an America 250 Mr. and Mrs. Met t-shirt from Coca-Cola. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets.
And by the way, since Alvarez has come back this month, he's hit .333 with a .926 OPS. Been one of the really great developments of the month of June for the Met offense.
Also got 7 home runs in 18 career games against the Cubs. So now it is Wagaman, the pinch hitter. Right-hand batter, Rollison deals a curveball that misses high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Wagaman hitting .214, which is just 3 hits and 14 times at bat. Beatty had gone 0 for 1 with a walk. Semien due up next, the 1-0. Down and in, almost nicked him in the foot. It's ball 2. And so it may well be that Roberts out in that bullpen is getting ready for Semien, because once whatever Wagaman does against Rollison, this at-bat is concluded. Rollison will have completed his quota, or mandate anyway, of at least 3 batters. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball, low, ball 3, but I think Amaya wants to challenge this one.
The previous pitch was called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
Look down from here, but no, caught the bottom of the zone. Good challenge by Amaya.
Chicago has 2 remaining.
So it's 2 balls and 1 strike now.
That's a good take, too, by Wagaman. You don't want to give away strikes. You want to sit back and really, if you like it on 2-0, find one and go after it.
6-3 Cubs, tying right at the plate. Wagaman, 2-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncer towards third. To his left, Ramirez has it, throws to second. 1, Horner to first. Double play. Second time in this game, the Mets have had the first 2 men on in an inning and then hit into a ground ball double play. This time it's Wagaman. The last time it was the guy coming up now, Marcus Semien.
And that was not the pitch to go after on 2-1. Heater on the inside corner just straight up jammed him. And in the spot where Wagaman had the advantage, he gave it right back by chasing a pitch in and off the plate.
Vientos moved to third. He's there with 2 out, and here's Semien 0 for 2. First pitch, fastball, chop foul up the third base line. And it's 0-1 to Semien. In addition to grounding into the double play, he grounded to second. And so he is 0 for his last 13. 6-3 Cubs. Semien's average down to 215. Here's the 0-1. Fastball driven high in the air to right field. It's playable. Michael Conforto, glasses on, fighting the sun, makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, one left, and at the end of 6, it's the Cubs 6, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets.
Well, as we go to the 7th inning, the Cubs lead the Mets 6-3. Wagaman and Vientos both appeared as pinch hitters in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll both stay in the game. Vientos, though, is going to go to third and Wagaman to first. Thought it might have gone the other way, but it doesn't matter. Michael Conforto leads off against the new pitcher, Jonathan Pintaro. Keith?
Yeah, we're seeing Pintaro a lot this year. First pitch to Conforto runs up and in, missing for ball 1. For Vientos, it's his first time at all at third base this season. Of course, he came up as a third baseman, played a lot of third with the Mets, but struggled defensively, and so they moved him over. 1-0, dots the inside corner with a cutter. That's Pintaro's best pitch. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Pintaro takes over for Nolan McLean, who was good, and then the wheels fell off there in the 5th and the 6th inning. He threw 4 scoreless before giving up 6 runs, 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. 1-1, misses inside of Conforto, 2 balls and a strike. So 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 homers, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 6 innings for McLean. And it all came down to that 6th inning home run to Swanson. Give the Cubs a 6-3 lead. 2-1, sprayed foul the other way. 2-2 on Michael Conforto, who had an RBI double in the 5th, part of that 3-run inning for the Cubs to tie it up, and then they grabbed the lead in the 7th. Now Conforto, Bush, and Suzuki here, 2, 3, and 4. For Pintaro, it's his 5th big league outing of the year and 6th ever. Came up once last year toward the end of the season. Deep breath from the righty. 2-2. Conforto fouls back the cutter. That stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly, and we shall caffeinate between games. Game 2 today coming up. 7:10 first pitch. Infield back around to the right. Pintaro's 2-2. Just missed away. Tried a soft changeup. Conforto threw his hands but kept the barrel back. He has 3-2. Good to see Conforto not only back here in New York but playing well. Out in San Francisco, it just really wasn't happening for him. And then last year with L.A., 3-2. Hit hard to second, gloved on 1 hop by Semien, who plants and throws him out. There's 1 away in the 7th inning. Conforto last year was signed by the Dodgers after a couple seasons in San Francisco where it was kind of hit or miss. Remember after he left the Mets, he had shoulder surgery, missed an entire season, signed with the Giants, and was okay. Last year with the Dodgers, really just did not have a strong season. Ended up getting a ring when the Dodgers won it all, but didn't play in the postseason. And only signed a $2 million deal here with Chicago. Pitch to Bush, in for a strike from Pintaro. It's 0-1. 6-3 Cubs were in the top of the seventh. Cubs won last night 9-6. Games 2 and 3 of this four-game set today. 0-1. Dots the outside corner. Another sinker at 95, and it's 0-2. Bush today, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a two-run home run. And speaking of the Dodgers, Bush, a former Dodger. When you are playing first base for AAA Oklahoma City and the guy in front of you is Freddie Freeman, good luck finding a gig. 0-2, ripped in the air to right bench, on the run toward right center, makes the catch. Bush lines out, and they're 2 away. Michael Bush was traded over to the Cubs January of 2024 and has been a nice power hitter for Chicago. Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman continues on his Hall of Fame track out in L.A. Now, Pintaro's retired the first 2 in the 7th inning. Base is clear for Seiya Suzuki. Pintaro trying to post a 0. Meanwhile, Caleb Thielbar warming up for the Cubs. Pitch fouled into the mitt. Or might have ricocheted out of the mitt of Terrence and hit him in the leg. But it's strike 1 as Pintaro gets ahead. For the Mets, they'll have Melendez, Terrence, and then a run of 2 lefties, Benj and Ewing. So 3 of the 4 batters in front of the Cubs are lefties for the Mets, so that's why they have the southpaw Thielbar getting loose. We saw the lefty Hobie Milner last night. Pintaro set. 0-1. Way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pace of the game brought to you by Optimum, famously fast fiber internet. We are almost 2 hours in, so certainly moving along quickly. But this is not a straight doubleheader, so this first game could be over now. It could be over in 5 hours. We're still starting game 2 at 7:10.
Bite your tongue.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Remember that COVID season as they played doubleheaders. They played 2 7s. And that was a little taste of what life in the minor leagues is like when you get 2 games done in 5 hours.
Tasted good.
That was not coming with the CBA when they reset everything after COVID. 1-2. Ben's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And speaking of the CBA, negotiations are ongoing. They will be ongoing, but a lot of them public right now with some of the requests from both sides, MLB and the Players Union. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Suzuki strikes out to end a 1-2-3 7th inning for Jonathan Pintaro. So, righty comes in and holds serve. Mets still chasing 3 going to the bottom of the 7th. 6-3 Cubs on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally, take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, Streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data of national speeds.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets, who come to the plate, bottom of the seventh inning, chasing 6-3 Cubs, who go to the bullpen for lefty Caleb Thielbar. Thielbar will see Melendez, a lefty, then righty Torrens, and then Benj and Ewing, two lefties. First pitch, left on left, misses low for ball one. Speaking of changes, defensive change as well. Michael Conforto, after that final at-bat, is out of the game. He's the right fielder, but now Justin Dean takes over in his stead. A little bit better defender for Craig Counsell with the lead. 1-0, foul back. Just to our left, apparently, and it's 1-1 strike on Melendez, who singled his last time. That was in the fourth inning when the Mets scored 3 times to break a scoreless tie. Cubs scored in the very next inning to tie it, and then the inning after that to take the lead. 1-1, popped up foul and out of play, third base side, into the seats, 3 rows behind the Cubs dugout, and it's 1-2. It is a Cubs dugout that has won 7 of the last 10. They've had a weird season. They've had 2 10-game winning streaks and 1 10-game losing streak, and they are 41-37. 1-2. Strike 3 called, clipped the outside corner with a curve. Now Melendez goes down to start the 7th inning. Luis Torrens coming up. Out-of-town scores brought to you by Food Bazaar. Shop local, eat global. In Miami, the Marlins finished off Jacob deGrom and the Rangers 4-2. Otto Lopez went 2 for 3, hit a homer. Otto Lopez is hitting .340 to lead baseball in batting average.
Raise your hand if you saw that coming.
Pitch to Torrens. Breaking ball drops in slowly for a strike, 0-1. I mean, a bit of a human waiver claim, that Otto Lopez. Good for him. It's a contact-oriented Marlins team, and he's seen it through. 0-1. Another breaking ball, another strike, and it's 0-2. White Sox and Cleveland Guardians are delayed in Chicago. White Sox have the same record as their buddies here in Chicago, the Cubs, both 41-37. Cleveland 41-39, so 2 more losses than the White Sox. 0-2, grounded foul outside third, stays 0-2. And speaking of weather, tonight Ryan Weathers will pitch for the Yankees against Detroit's Tarek Skubal at Comerica Park. Here's the 0-2. Fought off foul back and out of play. The Lollipop Guild, that is the New York Yankees. You like that Jazz Chisholm moment there, eating a lollipop in the middle of the game at second base, which is, if you're 7 years old, it's a little dangerous to play defense with a lollipop in your mouth. Aaron Boone apparently did not like that at all and told Jazz as much. 0-2. Check swing, breaking ball. He went. Ball in the dirt. Tag applied by Amaya. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caleb Thielbar. 2 outs in the 7th inning, 6-3 Cubs. We go to the top of the order for Carson Benj. And then what does Jazz do the very next day? This is last night. Hits a home run. Gets back into the dugout. Grabs the bucket of lollipops and shakes them at the camera. I guess you could kind of pull that move if you do that. So all smiles.
At least he didn't wave him in Aaron Boone's face.
Even Boone was laughing about it after. How could you not? First pitch to Benj. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Some guys, I think, they just like to, I'm one of them, just press buttons when you can. Just a little bit.
I wouldn't equate you with Jazz Chisholm.
I know. 0-1 pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not in the button-pushing department, but
he has a bigger audience than maybe I do.
Madge, we've broken him.
Yeah, it's fun every once in a while. 1-1 on Benj. The pitch from the lefty. Up and in, then misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
My own wife once told me I was a bad influence on Wayne Randazzo. He ended up okay. You're doing just fine.
Well, there's still time.
Can't be that bad.
2.5 months to go to put that imprint on me. 2-1 is in for a strike, a slider at the knees, and it's 2-2 on Benj.
Yeah, think of something.
Well, they're trying to think of some offense. Cincinnati and Milwaukee continue their series today. The teams have combined to score 5 total runs in the first 2 games of that set. 2-2 to Benj, bounces up there. 3-2 on Carson, and trying to get something started for the Mets, who in the bottom of the 7th trail 6-3 to the Cubs. Cubs have defeated the Mets in all 4 matchups so far in 2026. Ewing on deck. Thielbar's payoff. Rip to the right side, base hit. Past the diving Nico Horner. So Benj comes up with his 2nd hit of the game. And he's hitting lefties too, which is strong to see for Carson Benj, who has been such a bright spot in 26 for the Mets. So Benj gets on. He's hitting over 300 against left-handed pitching right now. Amazing. Now here's Ewing, who's 0 for 3 in the 2 spot. First time we've seen him at this height of the order since he's been called up. He's hit 3rd, but never 2nd. Ewing has struggled a bit against lefties. 5 for 34. First pitch. Slung over the outside corner, a sweeper strike, and it's 0-1. But the Mets like his ability to fight, and they want him to. He's 21 years old. He's up here. Got no other choices. He's a young prospect. Hit him against lefties. 0-1. In for a strike again, and it's 0-2. 6-3 Cubs, last of the 7th. 2 outs, runner at first. Bichette is on deck. If Ewing can get on, that would mean the tying man would be at the plate. A righty, though, getting loose for the Cubs. 0-2. Misses high. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's one of those raise your eye level pitches there. Hoping to get A.J. to chase upstairs.
It's one thing that he has impressed the Mets. Carlos Mendoza, the front office. His eye. The 1-2. Lifted in the air to left field. Not deep at all. Swanson drifting back and makes the catch. Ewing retired, and the inning is over. Thielbar posts a 0 for the Cubs. We go to the 8th, 6-3 Chicago on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a
day, we go to the 8th at Citi Field. Cubs come to the plate, leading the Mets 6-3. Howie.
Thank you, Keith. And Jonathan Pintaro will begin his 2nd inning in relief of Nolan McLean. He worked a 1-2-3 7th. Here he'll face Ian Happ, Nico Horner, and Pedro Ramirez. The Mets down 3, each team with 7 hits. First pitch, fastball is outside. 1-0 to Happ, who has doubled, been hit by a pitch, and flied to center. Vientos at third. Haven't seen him there in a while. Way off the line. Wagaman at first. Now the 1-0 taken high. 2 balls and no strikes. Most of the time, if not just about all of it, in the last little while anyway, that Vientos has played defensively has been at first base. Here's the 2-0. Outside, ball 3, missing with a sinker. It's not that Vientos is new to third base, played quite a bit there last year in particular. But it's Wagaman at first, and he's played some third base too. Saw him there with the Marlins. 3-0 to Happ. Now the pitch, way outside, ball 4. And Pintaro has walked the leadoff man on 4 pitches, and that'll bring up Nico Horner. The injury report is brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. We don't know about the availability of Juan Soto. We may find out the next inning or two if the need for the pinch hitter would arise. They've used a couple already. First pitch to Horner taken high for ball 1, but we do expect that Francisco Lindor, for the first time in a little over 2 months, will be in the Mets lineup tonight in the second game of this day-night doubleheader. Back from his calf injury. Played last night at Lehigh Valley for Syracuse. The 1-0 sinker missed down and in. 2-0 to Horner.
And on Soto, as Carlos was talking to the media today, he said Soto's in the back in the training room. They're getting looked at. He didn't rule out the IL. He didn't know the severity yet. So that's certainly not great news, not a great update.
2-0 the count. Now the pitch. High and tight, ball 3. So 7 in a row out of the strike zone here from Pintaro to begin his second inning of work, with the Mets down 6-3. Pedro Ramirez is on deck. Horner, a right-hand hitter, 1 for 3. And Pintaro with a 3-0. And that's right down the middle for a called strike, 3-1. The righty Ethan Roberts throwing in the Chicago bullpen after Thielbar got through the 7th, allowing 1 hit. 3-1. Now the pitch to Horner. Way outside and high, ball 4. And, well, Pintaro has walked the first 2 batters here in the 8th inning. And now it's the bottom third of the Cubs order with Pedro Ramirez, who's 0 for 3, next.
Well, for Pintaro, this is, again, the 5th time we've seen him this year. He hasn't had problems with walks at all. He's only walked 1 batter of the 4 outings that he's had. And he's faced a lot of hitters. So this is certainly uncharacteristic for Pintaro.
Ramirez has struck out twice and lined to second. Apple Bank, where saving meets amazing. Apple Bank is a proud partner of the New York Mets. Visit applebank.com to learn more. Well, Ramirez has struggled this afternoon, all against Nolan McLean, who went 6. At times, Nolan looked pretty good. But in the end, in 6 innings pitched, he allowed 7 hits and 6 runs, walking 2, striking out 9. He hit 2 more batters. That's 11, tied for the most in the National League, and gave up 2 home runs. So here's Ramirez. Mets looking for the bunt. They're in tight on both corners. He squares the pitch, pulled back, taken outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Vientos and Wagaman. Vientos at third, Wagaman at first. Neither, are considered Gold Glove candidates. And if you're the Cubs, maybe you want to make him handle the ball here, apart from simply trying to move 2 runners up. The 1-0, he squares, pulls back, takes the cutter for a called strike. And it's 1-1. So with 1 strike now on Ramirez, let's see how the Mets play it. Doesn't look like they're going to do anything differently. Wagaman on the grass, creeping up at first. Same for Vientos at third. Runners lead second and first. 1-1, the pitch. He bunts third base. Vientos up with it. His play is to first in time. Good job by Ramirez to move the runners up. Happ goes to third. Horner to second on the sacrifice. 5-4.
Look good, too, for Vientos coming in, charging, reaching down with the glove, running through to first base. He has not made that play in a big league game since last season.
So now Miguel Amaya will bat. He's the number 8 hitter, and the Mets are going to move the infield in with 2 in scoring position here, and the Cubs leading 6-3. So Pintaro takes a deep breath. His first pitch, in for a called strike, a cutter, and it's 0-1. Amaya has hit back to the mound, struck out, and reached on an infield hit. And the following hitter, Dansby Swanson, in the pivotal at-bat of this game, hit a 3-run homer off of McLean. 6-3 Cubs. The pitch, Swing and a pop foul off to the right and out of play. And quickly it's 0-2 with the aforementioned Mr. Swanson on deck. Mets bullpen is quiet. Pitaro trying to get the Mets back into the dugout. No worse off than they are now, trailing 6-3. But Happ is at third, Horner at second with one out. Outfield shallow and around towards right. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled, a little dribbler to the left of home plate. Shota Imanaga, a left-hander, due to pitch tonight for the Cubs. Another lefty for the Mets, Sean Manaea. We're in the eighth here, 6-3 Chicago, one out. Second and third infield in. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, kept in front of him by Torrens. No advance attempted by the runners, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pintaro rubbing up a new baseball here. He is at 31 pitches. Breezed through the 7th, walked the first 2 here in the 8th. Sacrifice bunt has pushed 2 into scoring position. 1-2. Now the pitch. Inside, he hit him. The third Cubs hitter hit today. This one really hurts as far as the Mets are concerned because it loads the bases and will bring up Dansby Swanson. Right now, you say, well, never mind that sub-200 batting average. Swanson has done damage in this series. Drove in 4 runs last night, 2 hits, including a homer, a sac fly, and here he hit the, biggest hit of the game to this point, the 3-run homer off of McLean in the 6th.
Now, right now, Pintaro, like you said, he breezed through the 7th. He's been a much different guy here in the 8th. Just trying to find the strike zone. 2 walks, a hit batsman. The only out was the sacrifice bunt that the Cubs gave him.
And nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen. Remember, they've had Brazoban and Raley up earlier in this game, but it's Pintaro, and the infield stays up. The middle infielder is not all the way in. First pitch, swing and a miss by Swanson, 0-1. So right now you've got Wagaman at first, who's even with the bag, just a toe behind the edge of the infield grass. Viento's close to the bag at third. Bichette at short, about 3/4 of the way up. Same for Semien at second. 0-1 to the right-hand hitter. The pitch lays off a breaking ball down and away. 1-1. Pete Crow Armstrong, left-hand hitter on deck. But this is all on Pintaro here in this 8th inning. Cubs leading 6-3. They've got the bases loaded with 1 out. Happ at third, Horner at second, Amaya at first. The 1-1 to Swanson. Swinging a high fly ball to deep left field. Melendez back, takes a look, and it is gone off the facing of the second deck for a grand slam for Dansby Swanson. It's his second home run of the game. He has driven in 7 today. It is his 3rd home run of the series, and the Cubs have taken a 10-3 lead here in the 8th inning.
He just sat back and waited. And Pintaro, who has not been able to find the strike zone, threw him a cutter right down the middle. And the way Swanson's been swinging, he wanted to hit. That first swing was a pitch up and in by his eyes. He was swinging out of his shoes. He wanted to hit a grand slam, and he does.
That's really amazing. It seemed as though the Mets were simply committed to Pintaro getting this 8th inning regardless. It was a 3-run game. The bullpen was never up in this inning, and Pintaro's now given up 4. And his first pitch to Crow Armstrong is outside for ball 1. Wow.
You play the infield in. You know it's an important time of the game. And your pitcher's struggling, but he's on an island.
Here's the 1-0. Taken on the inside corner, 1-1. Again, they had Brazoban and Raley up.
The previous pitch was called a strike. The batter is challenging.
But you know how that turns out. It was a strike. But, earlier in the game,
Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
This is when McLean was given the opportunity to face Swanson in the 6th inning with 2 out. Brazoban had been up. They let McLean pitch to Swanson. Swanson burned him for the 3-run homer. 1-1 to Crow Armstrong. Foul over towards the on-deck circle on the Mets side of the field, the first base side, and the count 1-2. So, somewhat curiously, it's Jonathan Pintaro's world here in the 8th inning with no safety net behind him. And now it is 10-3 Chicago. 1-2 to Crow Armstrong. Pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crow Armstrong today, 1 for 3 with a walk. He is in 12 straight games now. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at a pitch in the dirt. A sinker from Pintaro, and that's the second out. Pintaro in this inning walked the first 2, sacrifice bunt, pushed 2 into scoring position, hit Amaya to load the bases, and then Swanson with a grand slam. So Crow Armstrong punches out for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Pintaro. And now it will be Dean batting for the first time. Justin Dean, former Dodger, right-hand batter. First pitch. Swinging a high pop foul outside first, over by the dugout. Wagaman is over, but the ball's a few rows back and out of play. And the count 0-1. Dean's had just 2 at-bats, 1 out of 2 with the Cubs. Oh, and 1 the count to him. And Pintaro deals. Breaking ball lined over third, base hit going into left field. Melendez up with it. Dean, who lost his helmet halfway down the first baseline, takes a turn. Look at those long dreadlocks showing, flowing down the back of his neck. And so, a 2-out single. That'll bring Austin Warren, or the Mets pitching coach, out to the mound. And, now they're getting somebody up in the bullpen.
Austin Warren getting loose. Justin Willard has been wearing out that jog out to the mound. It has felt like a runaway train for the last week for the Mets pitching staff with no answers to be found. It is not a good spot right now to be in with the spot the season is in. It just feels like the same game every day, unfortunately, for this team.
Well, Dansby Swanson's our thriving player of the game, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center. Schedule your appointment at ThriveWellInfusion.com. Swanson, as a member of the Braves, had another 7 RBI day in his career. That was 5 years ago. He was with the Braves. They beat the Brewers 8-1. And he also had 2 home runs, including a grand slam in that one, just like today. First pitch to Michael Busch is in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. 10-3 Chicago. They had a 9-3 lead going to the 9th last night when the Mets scored 3. Now it's Tyler Ferguson, the righty, up in the Cubs' pen. He's their 27th man. The 0-1 fouled up the first baseline, and the count 0-2. Can't talk now. So, 0-2 to Busch. Oh, it was for you.
Oh, okay.
0-2 the count. Busch, the 8th man to bat for the Cubs here in this 8th inning. Dansby Swanson's grand slam has made it 10-3 Chicago. And the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a fastball, side retired. So a 45-pitch, 2-inning outing for Pintaro. Presumably over, but not before. In this 8th inning, the Cubs scored 4 runs on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. And in the middle of the 8th inning, it's the Cubs 10, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long seventh-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data.
Cubs have a 10-3 lead over the Mets as we go to the last of the eighth inning. Tyler Ferguson, the new pitcher for Chicago, their 27th man for the doubleheader, faces Bo Bichette. And the first pitch in tight to him, ball one. Ferguson was picked up by the Oakland A's, or from the Oakland A's, I should say. The only other big league team for which he's played, as Bichette swings and misses, and that evens the count 1-1. He has been around other organizations, originally drafted by the Texas Rangers, on to the Dodgers, the Braves organizations, on the outside corner to Bichette, and the count 1-2. He's on the Diamondbacks organization. And they traded him to the Cubs, did the A's in May. Pitch to Bichette, lifted in the air to center field. Should be easy for Crow Armstrong, waiting, and makes the one-hand catch for the first out. So Ryan Thielbar worked one inning in relief, gave up one hit, struck out two. And with the Cubs leading 7-3 and one out here in the bottom of the eighth inning, Mark Vientos will be the batter. He walked as a pinch hitter for Jared Young in the sixth. Righty against righty here. First pitch, hit foul, back upstairs behind home plate. And the count 0-1. Ferguson, the fourth pitcher the Cubs have used. The lead belongs to Javier Assad, the starter. Vientos fouls it straight down. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ferguson brings the hands together. The 0-2 to Vientos. Breaking ball outside. Sweeper missing, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. When this game ends, they'll clear the house, get ready for a new batch, because it's a separate admission doubleheader. Tonight's game begins as scheduled at 7:10. 1-2 to Vientos, swung on and missed, strike 3, got him with a fastball. First strikeout for Ferguson, 2 up, 2 down. And Francisco Alvarez will be next. Alvarez, another good day, 2 out of 2 with a walk, including a home run. Alvarez continues his great work against the Cubs. This is his 18th career game against them. He's now hit 7 home runs, driven in 13 runs in those games. Came in batting .365 in those prior 17. And again, he's 2 for 2 today. First pitch in for a called strike, 0-1. But Mets are down 7 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They have been behind by big numbers often. The 0-1 taken low and away. And the count 1-1. Every time it's looked as though maybe the Mets were going to start to make a bit of a move. Oh, my goodness.
Goes a Hello Kitty.
Yeah, it's goodbye, Kitty. 1-1 to Alvarez. The pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, 1-2.
We normally don't say goodbye to our booth friends, but this Hello Kitty, like you said, is bye-bye. There's the bat, there's the base, there's the piece, there's Hello, Kitty.
You won't hear a meow from that one. 1-2 to Alvarez, punched foul, going back behind home plate. I guess that was this particular kitty's 9th live.
There's a piece over here. There's one. There's two.
Huh. Sounds like that's named for an album. Pieces of Kitty.
Good band.
I mean, they're no Kings of Leon.
No, they are not.
You know, I'm just looking for something symmetrical here. 1-2 to Alvarez. Taken high, a fastball. 2-2.
Surprised with our Norwegians. You didn't slip a Norwegian Wood in there today.
I did very subtly mention Wood earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I could have done better. 2-2 to Alvarez. Swung on and missed strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball. Side retired. Mets go in order. 2 strikeouts for Ferguson. And at the end of 8, it's the Cubs 10, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2025 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2025 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparent who bolted to the burbs or the cool relative still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, matchups matter. And with Red Pocket Mobile, you get to make the call. Red Pocket Mobile gives you a choice of access on 3 major 5G networks, so you can choose the signal that works best wherever you go. Whether you're at the ballpark, the city, or traveling across the country, Red Pocket Mobile has you covered. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile is a proud sponsor of the Mets Radio Network. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm for over
today.
Well, we go to the 9th inning. Austin Warren will pitch the 9th for New York with the Cubs leading 10-3. So Jonathan Pintaro in 2 innings gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, walked 2. Struck out 3, hit a batter, and gave up the grand slam to Dansby Swanson, which broke the lead to 7. So Warren will face Seiya Suzuki to lead off. Suzuki today 0 for 4. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball outside, 1-0. Time to deliver the scores with a scoreboard update from Amazon Hub Delivery. Amazon Hub Delivery. Visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. 1-0 to Suzuki. Warren deals. Swing and a miss at a sweeper. And it's 1-1. Red Sox lead the Rockies 3-0. Bottom second in Denver. Connor Wong, a 2-run homer. Marlins now 3 over 500. They beat the Rangers 4-2. Jacob deGrom started for Texas. 1-1 to Suzuki is high for ball 2. Philadelphia at Washington at 6:45 tonight. Aaron Nola against Miles Michaelis. Wow, what's happened to Aaron Nola? Not the same guy. Here's the 2-1. Fastball to the knees, a called strike. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Mets and Juan Soto especially had their way with Nola the other day in Philadelphia. A couple of home runs.
2-2. And Warren delivers. Breaking ball, low and away, ball 3. Warren to the belt. And now the payoff pitch. Breaking ball, did he go? It looked as though he did. They appealed to first, strike 3. Suzuki had started peeling his gear off to go down to first base, but ruled to have gone around by first base ump John Bacon. And there's one out. And that will bring up Ian Happ, who is 1 for 2. Has also been hit by a pitch and drawn a walk. Happ, switch hitter, batting left. First pitch to him. Fastball in for a called strike. 0-1. Happ, a guy born in Pittsburgh, played collegiately at the University of Cincinnati. There was a time the Pirates and Reds had a great rivalry in the National League. The 0-1 fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Then again, there was a time the Mets and Cubs had a great rivalry in the National League. Obviously, in 1969, by the time they got to September, there were 2 ships passing each other in the night. What a tortuous race between the Pirates, Cubs, and Mets in 70. The 0-2, a fastball high, 1-2. Pirates won that. And then in 1984, the Mets, in one of the most enjoyable seasons in franchise history, after a long down period, won 90 games. Cubs won the division. 1-2, fastball in there, strike 3 call. Happ down on strikes, 2 men away. Nico Horner coming up. Just miss those rivalries with certain National League teams with the changes in the schedule. What used to be 18 games within your division and 12 against the teams in, well, back then, the other division before they went to 3 divisions. You know, now this is the Cubs' only trip to Citi Field this year. Tomorrow will end their season series. Nico Horner takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
It was cool to be in the minor leagues and get to know Phil Regan a little bit, who was a big part of the Cubs.
What a great guy.
In '69 when Leo DeRocher somewhat overused that rotation, and they were throwing dust at the end of the year. They had nothing
Sounds
left.
to me like the Vulture told you a story or two, didn't he, about Leo?
He was great, Phil Regan.
Oh, the best. The 0-1 taken outside, 1-1. He was an organizational pitching coach here, filled in as an interim pitching coach. What a great guy. Back when he was scouting in the late 80s, I'd have him on Mets Extra as a guest. He was terrific. The 1-1 line to second, caught knee high by Semien. Side retired. Nothing across, middle of the 9th inning. Cubs 10, Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Jason is an avid hiker who loves the outdoors. During what should have been a peaceful hike, that calm was suddenly broken. A mountain lion appeared on the trail just yards away. Fortunately, Jason had packed his Byrna less lethal launcher. Armed with kinetic rounds, Jason fired a warning shot, deterring the mountain lion and giving his family time to get to safety. Byrna less lethal launchers fire powerful kinetic and chemical irritant rounds designed to stop threats. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium, for instance. If you lose track of your friends after a long 7th-inning stretch, one quick message and a shared location later, you'll find each other without missing the next pitch. And you can upload the video of the game-winning hit and share it before you even leave your seat. And on the days you can't make it to the ballpark, streaming the game on the go feels just as electric. No buffering, no interruptions, just every moment as it happens. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data of national speed score results for the second.
Now we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cubs led the Mets 9-3 last night. Going to the bottom of the 9th, Mets would lose, although they put up 3 in the 9th. 9-6 was the final. Now it's 10-3. Eric Wagaman leads off. Tyler Ferguson's first pitch of his 2nd inning of work is in for a called strike, and it is 0-1. Ferguson worked a 1-2-3 8th inning. Wagaman, as a pinch hitter, grounded into a double play in the 6th after the Mets put 2 on, nobody out. The 0-1, a check swing roller to second. Horner is up with it. Throws to first in time, one man away. So, that'll bring up Marcus Semien, nothing out of 3. Today's attendance brought to you by Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy. Sip the fruity candy-coated chaos. Paid crowd today, really reflecting on Monday night when this game was originally scheduled. 31,000. First pitch to Semien on the inside corner, a called strike, 0-1, 951. Far fewer than that in the ballpark, though, for this rescheduled 110 game. Semien 0 for 3. He's 0 for his last 14. 0-1 pitch. Breaks high, a sweeper. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Marcus Semien with M.J. Melendez on deck. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in for a called strike, 1-2.
Semien's going to challenge that pitch.
The previous pitch was called a strike. The batter is challenging.
And so the suspense build as the animation shows a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
The call's confirmed. New York has 0 challenges remaining.
So it's 1-2 to Semien. Ferguson sets. Now the pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Perhaps between games, we'll learn a little more about Juan Soto's situation, how he checked out when the doctors looked at him, when the trainers did before the game today. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, line to third, caught shoulder high by Ramirez, and there were 2 men away. The Mets down to their last out. So with 2 out, nobody on, M.J. Melendez, last chance for the Mets.
And we'll see when they get Lindor on the roster. They're going to have to make a move to get somebody off the roster, but Lindor back tonight certainly is most welcome for many, many reasons.
Well, here's Melendez. Takes first pitch, breaking ball, low and away, ball 1.
Not the least of which is just a leader in a time right now where you feel like you need one in that clubhouse.
1-0 pitch. Melendez fouls it straight back, and it's 1-1.
We have seen if the Mets drop this one here, that'll take them to 11 under, which has been the low bottom point. They haven't got any further than that this year, and of course they didn't go any further than that in 2024 when they bottomed out 11 under and took off.
Now they're 11 under 2 months after the first time they got there. The 1-1 breaking ball is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. So, at the very, very least, they have spun their wheels for a third of the season after the 12-game losing streak and gained ground that way. 2-1, swung out and missed a fastball, 2-2. And time's a-wasting, as David Stern said yesterday, with the trade deadline around 6 weeks away. But the Mets have got to put the brakes on this and in a hurry. 2-2. Ferguson sets the pitch. Swing and a grounder to first. Fielded by Bush. Underhands to Ferguson, covering in time, and the ball game is over. Chicago Cubs have taken the afternoon portion of our day-night doubleheader and